guys, Ralph Galaxy here. So, been a while since I last made one video for YouTube. I wasn't really sure what I was gonna do next, so I waited for some time to see if something about Pokemon came around or anything of that sort. And uh, like 2-3 weeks ago, we had um, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, Pokemon Shining Pearl, and of course Pokemon Legends Arceus announced for the Nintendo Switch, and you know that announcement made me really happy, and I know that the community is kind of like divided right now because the people were probably expecting the highest probability, which we thought was gonna be like Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, but you know with Sword and Shield remakes or um, a more modern graphical and modern world approach like Breath of the Wild is, or like Pokemon Legends Arceus is gonna be. But you have to understand that since they announced Pokemon Legends at the same time, uh, which it's kind of like this new series that they're making off of the main Pokemon mainline, and the setting of Pokemon Legends is in Sinnoh, so I think in a way they are kind of doing both things, uh, be it with the remakes and um, the announcement of probably the first high quality graphic open world Pokemon game that in the trailer it kind of looked like it was still in beta phase, and it was kind of like more of a prototype than a final product game ready to hit the stores and all that shit. But I think it still looked pretty great, and I think the final product is going to be even better, and we'll probably see that in the next trailers that the Pokemon Company, Game Freak, and Nintendo drop at us. But yeah, so this just goes to show you that even though people were probably expecting Diamond and Pearl remakes to be full 3D fledged like Sword and Shield and maybe what Pokemon Legends is, I don't really mind the chibi graphics because it's kind of like they're you know um, almost doing what they did with the Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening remake on the Switch, because that game just had basically its graphics, you know, 20 years ahead scaled up and into the modern generation of gaming, and the game is still the same, and the graphics and the way it is still made um, just completely represent the game at full strength and at 100%, because it's still the same game but just with normal graphics. They didn't scale up or down Link, and they didn't make Link's Awakening look like a more 3D Zelda like Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, and all those games, but it still looked the same game that it did on the Game Boy, just in 3D with better graphics. And I think that's kind of like what they're doing with the remakes of Diamond and Pearl, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. And even though the characters are chibi, I think it's kind of an interesting approach because and I know some people have said, and I've read the comments and watched other YouTube videos talking about this, but some people said that if you were gonna play the remix for the first time, if you were younger than probably my generation that grew up with the first Pokemon games, and you never played Diamond and Pearl or Platinum, the people that are kind of divided with these launches are saying things like, you're better off playing Pokemon Platinum or the original Pokemon Diamond and Pearl instead of the remix, because they say that those games still represent the games better. But at this point, that's a bit too early to say that, in my opinion, because they just dropped the first launch trailer at us, and we haven't really seen, anything more new that they're gonna throw in these remakes or even in Pokemon Legends Arceus. But one thing that I am sure with the launch of these new remakes of Diamond and Pearl and the announcement of Pokemon Legends, uh, which is like finally, I think, I hope I'm not wrong when the game comes out 1 year from now, but it really just looks like almost the perfect Pokemon game that we have all dreamed about for all these years. And in the past, I kind of knew that eventually we're gonna get there, but I didn't think it was gonna be this earlier. But Sword and Shield did pretty well for 3D in some parts of the game, like the wild area and the light ship. Um, and if they wanted, like they are doing with Pokemon Legends, and I'm sure they are having help from other studios that can really give them a hand and can make them uh, produce the games even faster with more people at their field of gaming, which is like these big teams that know how to really polish and create interesting open worlds for us to explore. And um, it comes back to what I was saying, that I think there's something for everyone um, this year in 2021 and the next year in 2022, because they're still launching the remakes, and they kind of announced a new approach to Pokemon in a more Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda Pokemon open world style, which is like what I want instead of Sword and Shield, which is even better graphics, better scaled models for the characters and the NPCs and all those types of things, even for the Pokemon, because some Pokemon in Sword and Shield weren't really, it's kind of like they were copy pasted from uh, previous 3D Pokemon games like Sun and Moon, X and Y, Omega Ruby, and Alpha Sapphire, and all that stuff, and they just kind of made the models look a bit better, but the animation still lacked a lot. I hope they kind of correct that with the remakes and with Pokemon Legends. But yeah, I think Pokemon this time took kind of a right direction, and it's interesting uh, to see what's gonna happen with Gen 9, because at this point, yeah, I think Gen 9 could really be something. I wouldn't say just as full fledged as Pokemon Legends, but something between the middle of Pokemon Sword and Shield and Pokemon Legends. And yeah, of course, Gen 9 could really be a full open world Pokemon game like Pokemon Legends is gonna be, but I think from here onwards into the future, like maybe 5, 10, 15, 20 years ahead, I think as the years go by, we're gonna see new generations, of course, that pop up like every 3 years or so, and more remakes along the line. Of course, I think next it's gonna be Pokemon Black and White remakes, and eventually X and Y, and we'll just keep scaling down as new generations come ahead, and as they continue to make remakes and probably take on new approaches to Pokemon, like kind of what they are doing with the remakes of Diamond and Pearl and Pokemon Legends. But yeah, I'm kind of happy, and as I was saying, there's a bit for everyone in both of these two announcements that they might be the remakes or Pokemon Legends. And if you're feeling kind of bad that they didn't took a more um, Sword and Shield approach to the remakes of Diamond and Pearl, I think the chibi characters and um, the kind of cute approach that they're making the remakes of Diamond and Pearl are still good, and I'm kind of happy in the way that as far as 3D models and 3D graphics and the new graphics motors and engine cards can go, I think this is as close as you get with a new Pokemon game, be it a new game, a new gen game, or a remake, close enough to what the original Pokemon games were, even in the first or second generations, because all the characters were small, and you always had this top-down view from the beginning of Pokemon. Um, we just started having 3D models back in 2011 when they announced X and Y, but yeah, even those were still lacking a lot. But you know, I don't really mind the chibi characters, and of course part of me kind of would have wanted that they had made the Diamond and Pearl remakes in a more 3D style, but you know, I'm still happy that they're still doing it and they haven't changed that much. It's like they gave the remix the treatment that they gave Link's Awakening, which is just a little bit of graphics scale up and, you know, probably make some mechanics and some things that the originals had maybe new. I don't know, but and please probably, you know, I don't know if this is too much to ask, but I hope that the battle frontier is still there, up in that north island of the Sinnoh map, because man, if they do that with this remix, I mean, it's gonna be insane. You know, it's like you're gonna go back in time to 2007, 2008, when we played Diamond and Pearl and Platinum in 2009, and you'll feel those good memories again with some kind of facility like the Battle Frontier that we haven't had in, man, I don't know, ever since what, at this point, Black and White 2. Yeah, even after the remix of Gold and Silver, but I don't think a Battle Frontier of that caliber has been unleashed in these new games yet. But I hope they kind of still make the remix what the original games were, but, you know, add something more new or some new things that can make the games feel like the originals, but new at the same time, just besides the graphics. And of course, I'm already talking about mechanics, but, you know, this is as important as the graphics will go, because, for example, if they don't bring like things like mega evolutions back, or some kind of new way to eat up the battles and make things interesting, or even besides just going around collecting badges and kicking the evil teams as catching the legendaries and eventually beating the league, because, you know, we all know that story at this point from Machuto without lifting a single fucking finger, because it's what Pokemon has always been. And, you know, in that sense, I'm kind of interested to see, in contrast to the remix with Pokemon Legends, if, you know, they're still gonna make gyms in Pokemon Legends and the Pokemon League and an Elite Four, and if they're gonna have like an evil team, or if they're gonna take a new approach, more of the way of Breath of the Wild in terms of exploration and catching mechanics and all that stuff. But yeah, man, I think, in the balance and at the end of the day, I think what they are doing is pretty amazing, you know, and I'm still gonna get through the remakes, of course, because they come out before Pokemon Legends is released. But of course, at the end of the day, I'm much more excited for Pokemon Legends than I am for the remakes. But yeah, they're still kind of a neat thing to look forward to, and I am still impressed with Pokemon Legends. But at this point, I'm not like, you know, dreaming about it or thinking about it every day, because it's kind of a thing that I knew it was gonna happen eventually. Maybe if not in 2021 or 22, maybe probably in 23 or 24. But yeah, man, I'm kind of surprised, because even after I made the video talking about the launch of Pokemon Unite in the mobile, I knew I was kind of disappointed with that announcement, and I didn't think they were, you know, working on something under their sleeves like Pokemon Legends. That's kind of like, man, just amazing. I love it. And I hope that Gen 9, whatever direction they're taking, or they are already taking, probably with Gen 9, goes in the way of something like Pokemon Sword and Shield and Pokemon Legends. Of course, nobody's expecting Gen 9 to be like, to have the graphics of the remix of Diamond and Pearl. That would be just stupid at this point. We're expecting something at least better than Sword and Shield. But yeah, and, you know, I think Pokemon Legends, of course, you know, talking a bit more about Pokemon Legends in a way, because everybody knows Diamond and Pearl already, they're just getting remakes. But what's interesting about the remix is always what's gonna be new, you know. But Pokemon Legends, no, it's a completely different entry in the series, and they're starting kind of like going back in time with the salts, you know, scene that kind of reminds me of Samurai X and animes of, you know, shoguns and all that shit that back in the old days when the dynasties of China and Japan were still intact. But um, yeah, kind of like a samurai approach to it, at least from what I saw in the launch trailer. But yeah, it's looking pretty neat, and they didn't change the protagonist too much. They're just kind of like the procedures of the Diamond and Pearl protagonists, of course. But I don't think it needs too much story. I think the 3D approach in a Breath of the Wild sense and genre is the most interesting and important thing that they're trying to do with this, because they're kind of like showing us that yeah, we hear what you say, and we know, and we have known for years now that people have been keep asking for a Pokemon open world game, and I think Pokemon Legends is gonna do just that. And of course, it's not gonna be a a perfect game, because every video game has those little details that um, make it bad in some aspects of them. But I think the approach is the right direction for Pokemon, and at least if Pokemon Legends doesn't end up being like the best Pokemon that ever came out, at least it's gonna be like an open world example for the next generations of other open world games and for the Pokemon franchise itself, because of course Game Freak, besides learning and listening to what us fans in the community expect and tell them about, they always keep challenging themselves in the inside for more potential and for new and unlimited possibilities, because it's like we're the wood, and the comments that we spread about Pokemon are like fuel to the fire, and Game Freak is just, kind of inhaling the smoke and letting it inspire them to shape whatever they're gonna do next. But yeah, so this is my take on the future of Pokemon, and you know, I saw that trailer that the guy made for YouTube, um, kind of like reimagining what the remix would be if they were like full-fledged 3D, like Pokemon Legends or Sword and Shield. But and it looked amazing, of course. That man, if that still had happened, and if the Diamond Pearl remix had been in full 3D, I would still have loved that. But I don't mind, and I still hope that people understand that there, like I was saying before, there's a bit for every Pokemon player in these next years that are coming, even besides um, the remakes and Pokemon Legends. And I think Gen 9 is going to be amazing. At least I hope so, and I hope that, yeah, of course, the United Kingdom for a region, and Hawaii and France before that, even with X and Y, those were pretty interesting regions. But there are more interesting places in the world, like Egypt or Greece. And yeah, of course, I've been playing Assassin's Creed for this last year, and I'm right now at Odyssey. I'm in the DLC part, and I'm aiming to complete the game at least about 70 or 80% of the campaign. And sometimes I'm wandering around in the fucking boat, just enjoying the waves at night and battling ships and all that stuff that you do in Assassin's Creed. But kind of like reminds me of, man, what wouldn't be it be amazing if Pokemon kind of made a region based on Greece with all the legend that they have around them, and just um, an opinion. But yeah, they could really work with that, or they could work with Australia and kind of like emphasize a lot on poison type Pokemon, as Australia is on too many hostile insects and all that stuff, and reptiles, of course. And even Egypt, or probably the northern countries around Scandinavia and all that stuff. There are so many interesting places that you can base the next generations of Pokemon. So please, Game Freak, just hear us out and take your creativity to a whole nother level, like you did with these past generation games, and um, just draw inspiration from the world, mostly from the people, from the environments around. And I mean, just look at what Ubisoft did with Assassin's Creed Origins and Odyssey. I mean, Egypt and Greece are so fucking well represented in real life, of course, in that time, not in ours, which is a modern age and all that shit. But it just shows that if a team like them can make a game, oh sorry, that was my dog. If a team like them can make an amazing game so well detailed, um, that represents the real location in the world. So well, imagine what Pokemon can look like some years from now if the graphics just keep scaling and evolving, and those minor details that kind of tune the game up, they get even better, and they kind of like give a whole other level of um, life to the game besides just catching Pokemon and battling trainers and all that stuff. But yeah, guys, so this has been the Rolf Galaxy, and this is my take on what the future of Pokemon has to offer. And man, yeah, I'm so excited. I think 2021, after all this shit, hopefully if COVID just finally fucking goes away, because I think at this point we're all just fucking tired of it already, and these new announcements kind of gave us something good to look forward to. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing alright, and stay tuned. And of course, just keep playing new Pokemon Rumex and fun games that come around, like Pokemon Xenoverse, yeah, which I'm probably gonna review one of these days, because I finished Xenoverse um, like some 2-3 days ago, and it was just like one of the best fun-made Pokemon games that I've ever played in all my fucking life. But yeah, that's a matter for another video. So peace out, boys.